Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Thought maybe it was just an accident, and then the U-Haul backed up and rammed it again, and at that point it didn't move, and then that's when the Secret Service police converged on it.
Tense moments in the nation's capital. Police say the driver of this U-Haul truck rammed into security barriers just yards from the White House. Up next, what investigators are saying about this being an intentional act.
Back here at home outside with live cam this morning, a bit on the humid side yet again. Monday was not bad overall for late May. We'll see how our Tuesday is shaping up. Good morning, everybody. Hope you got some rest last night or had a good overnight shift. It is Tuesday, May 23rd.
Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. Yesterday got a little warm, but yeah, I agree with you. Humid this morning.
We'll take it for sure. Mike Osterhage is here with a look ahead at the rest of our workday, which is just now getting started for some folks.
Which, yes, and yesterday, like you said, was fantastic. Today, really not bad. I mean, we are going to be up to normal. We stayed mid-80s yesterday and slightly below where we should be. Yeah, a little more humid this morning. Got a couple of patches of fog we'll have to deal with as well. But overall, a fairly kind of tranquil day, with one exception, and that's going to be the case tomorrow night as well. We'll get into that in just a second. First of all, here's some of the fog. Gonzales, Beeville down to a quarter-mile visibility. Hints of it elsewhere. Same story. We're going to have to watch this throughout the rest of the morning because it will get thicker in spots. Temperatures. Yeah, we were in the upper 60s at this time. Excuse me, we were in the mid to lower 60s at this time yesterday. We had dipped down to 63 and much milder than that. Actually, we're slightly above normal, and we got a lot more humidity out there, so you can't drop down below these numbers. So we're not seeing any 63s in town, and 70 at Randolph, Stinson, Pleasanton. That's getting up there. That greets you when you walk out the door this morning. Mold really went up yesterday. We'll see what the count is today, given the fact we didn't have any rain around the area yesterday. And temperatures will stay pretty steady this morning. Again, a couple of patches of fog here and there. We do make it up into the upper 80s. So again, pretty normal day, but then tonight we have we're going to be watching out to the northwest for some clusters of storms to develop way out there to the northwest. We were talking about this yesterday, how we're in this northwesterly flow. You get these little disturbances moving on through here, and that's going to be the case late tonight. So we do have that chance for one or two of those to be strong, potentially severe. That's going to be the situation tomorrow night. Rest of the week looks okay. What about the long Memorial Day weekend? Details on that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. 2 people were arrested after Bexar County Sheriff's deputies made an illegal gambling bust. This happened along FM 78 and Beach Trail on the northeast side. That was around 5:30 last night. Deputies say no one inside the suite wanted to answer the door when they got there, but the sheriff's office had a search warrant. And when deputies went inside, they say 8 women and 2 men were using slot machines. One of the 2 people arrested had marijuana and a firearm. Right now, it's not clear how many gambling machines were confiscated.
The Texas legislature wraps up its regular session in less than a week. Lawmakers are still trying to get bills to Governor Abbott's desk, including one aimed at school vouchers. The Senate's Education Committee passed its version of House Bill 100 yesterday. The Texas Tribune reports the bill could get a vote in the full Senate later this week. The Senate's version would create education savings accounts. Most Texas students could receive up to $8,000 to help pay for school and other related expenses. The governor has threatened to call for a special session if lawmakers do not pass a bill that provides, quote, meaningful school choice. A live look at the nation's capital overnight. A U-Haul truck crashed into barriers there near the White House. It caused a massive law enforcement response with some area businesses put on lockdown.
The driver was detained, and Secret Service now says this may have been an intentional act. ABC's Lindsay Watts is in Washington with new video and witness interviews.
Overnight, tense moments in the nation's capital. Police say the driver of this U-Haul truck rammed into security barriers protecting Lafayette Park just yards from the White House in what may have been an intentional act. Video then shows the truck ramming the barrier a second time.
I think at first I was just in shock.
This was Benjamin Berger's first night in D.C. He says he heard the crash and then saw people running.
Thought maybe it was just an accident, and then the U-Haul backed up and rammed it again, and at that point it didn't move, and then that's when the Secret Service police converged on it.
Another witness was walking in Lafayette Square at the time.
And the truck cut right in front of the path that I was going to take onto the sidewalk. So this was probably no more than 25 feet in front of me. My first thought was a medical emergency.
The driver is in custody and facing charges. Sources tell ABC News the truck has been cleared for explosives. Overnight, Secret Service cordoned off a multi-block perimeter surrounding the White House and park. The Washington Post reports the historic Hay Adams Hotel was even evacuated at request of Secret Service. The driver is facing multiple charges, including assault with a dangerous weapon, destruction of federal property, and threatening to harm the president. No word yet on any motive. Lindsay Watts, ABC News, Washington.
President Joe Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy say they and their lead negotiators have had a productive meeting at the White House on the impasse over the government's debt ceiling. Yet there is still no agreement as Washington races to strike a budget compromise and raise the nation's borrowing limit. Despite the lack of movement towards a possible agreement, both men appeared upbeat as they face a deadline as soon as June 1st when the government could run out of cash to pay its bills.
Federal prosecutors have issued subpoenas to the Trump Organization regarding its business deals in foreign countries. According to the New York Times, investigators are seeking information about real estate deals in several countries. The time period covers the years former President Donald Trump was in the White House. One source says prosecutors are zeroing in on business dealings with countries that might have been interested in the classified materials found at Mar-a-Lago. At the time, the Trump Organization claimed it would not strike new business agreements with foreign countries while Trump was in the White House.
436, 71 degrees.
Up next, UTSA gets ready to open Conference USA tournament play. How the team is hoping to learn from past experiences to get a victory.
Looking for any problems out there? At this hour, it's usually either an accident or some construction. And I saw some flashing lights in one of these, and I think it is construction. But right now, not seeing that. There's 410 at Old Pearsall Road with a bright light on the right side. I think it's a TransGuide sign.
Kind of nice yesterday in the 80s, and this morning, live cam, we're at 71 degrees, a little more humid this morning and expecting to get a little warmer this afternoon. But we're going to check in with Mike with all those details coming up.
439, two-seed UTSA will open Conference USA tournament play tomorrow in Houston against 7-seed Middle Tennessee in a double elimination tourney. Roadrunners swept the Blue Raiders 3-0 earlier in the season with a rating percentage index of 64 based on wins, losses, and strength of schedule. The Roadrunners feel they have to win this tournament to advance to the College World Series. Last year they didn't, losing in the finals, and that cost them a trip to Omaha.
Certainly, the guys on the team last year feel that way after we did make it to the finals last year. And so we're ready to do that again. We feel even better this year than we did this time last year. So if we were able to make it all the way to the finals last year, we feel like we can do that again now.
Oh, for sure. Just like last year, we had to go into the tournament and show that we belonged and that we can compete still against good teams at the end of the season. So just like last year, got to go and do our best, win some games.
UTSA will face Middle Tennessee tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. from Reckling Park on the Rice University campus. Major League Baseball, Texas Rangers dropped their first game of a 9-game road trip at the Pirates 6-4. Astros started their 6-game roadie with a 12-2 win at the Brewers. NBA Western Conference Finals last night. Denver Nuggets held off the Lakers 113-111 to sweep the Lakers in 4 games. Denver now advances to the NBA Finals for the first time in team history, where they will face the winner of the Miami-Boston series. A little excited here at home. East Central softball head coach Maggie Wellham taking an ice-cold bath after her team won the Class 6A regional semifinals. And here it is in slow motion at 25% of original speed. Coach sees the ice bucket coming. No, there's nothing she can do, but prepares for the ice-cold impact. To turn and protect yourself, Coach. We'll have more with the coach and her Hornets later on today. Congratulations.
A lot of fun out there. Yeah, congrats. Time now 4:41 and 71 degrees for now. More and more crimes are being caught on doorbell cameras, but can police just take your video without your permission? The answer is yes and no. We'll explain.
And next, $1 billion engagement. One of the richest men in the entire world, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, is now set to say, "I do," all over again.
And welcome back. It's 4:44. Billionaire Jeff Bezos is reportedly engaged to his girlfriend, Lauren Sanchez. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, billion-dollar engagement. One of the richest men in the world, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, now set to say I do with former TV host Lauren Sanchez. A source confirming to ABC News the pair is now engaged.
If you're a very wealthy person and you are going to a second marriage, the most typical thing is to sign a prenuptial agreement.
Bezos is the third richest person in the world, worth a whopping $138 billion.
There are lawyers who are very skilled at this, who do this kind of work all the time. A lot of the billionaires on our list have been married more than once.
So where will Bezos and Sanchez rank on the list of the world's richest couples? And what legal and financial planning will the next few months bring? It's all coming up at 7 a.m. with your GMA First Look. I'm Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Catching a crime on your doorbell camera, it's becoming more common.
And now police departments across the country are asking for homeowners' videos. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz breaks down the ways police can get them.
Whether you're looking for porch pirates, wild animals, or car thieves, a video doorbell or security camera can come in handy. Law enforcement agencies are taking notice.
The Ring app has a neighborhood watch style social network called Neighbors. Law enforcement uses that network in order to request videos from users.
Ring now has more than 2,500 partnerships with police agencies, but the program has come under fire from some social justice and digital rights groups who think it unfairly targets communities of color. So if police ask for your video, do you have to give it to them? Consumer Reports says legally, no.
If police ask for your footage, you can choose to share it with them, or you can simply ignore the request.
If you don't share, Ring says it won't give law enforcement access to your cameras, your videos, or any of your personal information. And police never have access to a live feed. But police can still get the video without your consent.
If your footage is stored in the cloud on manufacturers' servers, police can get it in two ways.
First, through a search warrant or subpoena, or they can cite a federal law that allows manufacturers to share footage in a potentially life-threatening emergency. If the footage is stored locally on your camera, police may have to come to you directly to request it or serve a warrant. If you have a Ring camera, you can opt out of receiving requests for your footage from law enforcement by going into the app settings. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
And let's check the roads with TransSky, looking at I-37 at Houston. Things are quiet. Also at Loop 410 at Marbuck Road, where things are moving at 4:47 this morning.
All right, Michael, what's up for our Tuesday?
Actually, a very kind of tranquil day. I mean, it's going to be a lot like yesterday, a little bit warmer in the afternoon, but we did stay below normal yesterday. It is slightly warmer, more humid out there, but we should have a pretty good start if you don't see fog, kind of like this picture. I love this one, the road to sunnier days.
Pretty.
Yeah, there was blazing sunshine, of course, yesterday, all throughout the day. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect shot. I love that picture. It is very peaceful looking out there. All right, we do have some clouds hanging around here this morning, and we do have some fog. Gonzales, 2 miles visibility, quarter mile at Beeville, a little bit around Victoria, hints of it elsewhere, New Braunfels, Cotulla. So again, got to watch out as the morning rolls on. That fog is going to thicken up in spots. Temperatures are up a good, 5, almost 10 degrees compared to this time yesterday, because yesterday we did bottom out at 63. We're at 72 right now. The normal low here in town is 68 degrees. So yeah, we're above that, obviously, and we'll be in the trend of staying close to normal for low temperatures, though, throughout the rest of the week. So again, nothing too extreme this week. I guess that's the best theme. Now, as far as the rest of today, everything's going to be fine. A lot of sunshine out there, a couple of clouds around tonight. What we are watching, we were talking about this yesterday, how we're in this northwesterly flow, and this is one of those where you can just get this little disturbance kind of sliding on in here, and they touch off these showers, thunderstorm complexes, and that's what we're going to be looking at tonight. So all the computer models are pretty much in agreement on this. Some have the timing a little bit different, but the majority, this model obviously has it well to the north and to the northeast of us, with some of these cells moving through the hill country. And this would be then into the wee hours tomorrow morning. Because a lot of times these nighttime storm complexes do like to last up until sunrise. Then they tend to kind of die down. There is the chance that some of those storms could be on the strong, potentially severe side. High winds, hail would be the biggest threats for that. And this is pretty much just right along 35 up in toward the hill country. Again, very few and far between as far as this is concerned. Now, as far as the rest of today, temperatures steady this morning because of the high humidity. We've got some clouds out there, then more sunshine, and we are going to be bottoming out at 70. Normal low again 68, so in the ballpark, not as cool as yesterday morning. We make it up into the low 80s today at noon, and we're going to be topping off 88 degrees. Look in the record books, that's the normal high temperature with plenty of sunshine out there. Then we've had that chance of storms tonight. Now, as far as the rest of the week, boy, you couldn't, I mean, this is exactly what the almanac says as far as normal temperatures. Yeah, it's just very consistent all the way through the rest of the week. Just about the same thing with low temperatures. Very close to where they should be all week long. Minor fluctuations here and there. And after we get into tonight, and that chance for some rain, we're going to do the same thing all over again tomorrow night as far as some of those overnight showers, a couple of thunderstorms here and there. After that, fairly tranquil Thursday, Friday through most of the weekend. There is a small chance for a shower on Monday. Very few and far between. Most of that right now would be well off to the west. And look at those temperatures. Upper 80s, even mid 80s, right where they should be. Again, the comparison to last year, we had a break of, after hitting 3 100-degree days up to about this point, we had a slight break, and then broiler got cranked up at Memorial Day and pretty much stayed on high the rest of the summer.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a long, hot summer this time last year.
Well, this is much better. We'll take it.
Let's hope it is.
For now.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
What is it we said the other day? Don't stare the forecast in the eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't make it blink or look away.
Anything.
451, 71 degrees.
Up next, The Weeknd premieres his upcoming HBO show, plus a big milestone for country music star Morgan Wallen's latest album.
Here are your lottery numbers this morning. Pick 3, 710, Fireball 0, Daily 4, 6216, Fireball 5.
Cash 5, 7, 21, 26, 28, 29, and your Texas two-step 12, 19, 33, 35, bonus ball 21. Powerball numbers 9, 38, 48, 52, 68, Powerball 25, Power Play 4. Good luck.
The Weeknd debuts his new show, plus more success for country singer Morgan Wallen.
Really, that's what's happening in Hollywood. Here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
All I want is for you to end up happy, you idiot!
Well, I am happy. I've never been happier in my life. Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne are just friends in the new comedy series Platonic. They star as old besties who reconnect and chaos ensues. And they told me very clearly, this is not a will they won't they type show, so don't watch it expecting their characters to hook up.
We worked so hard for that not to happen. You don't understand. We had so many comments. That was the fundamental. We wanted the audience to be relaxed, to let go of that expectation and just enjoy what was going to happen.
The first 3 episodes of Platonic premiere tomorrow on Apple TV+. The Weeknd hitting the Cannes red carpet. He premiered his upcoming HBO show, The Idol, at the film festival Monday evening. The music star produced and stars in the series, which is about the rise to fame of a pop princess played by Lily Rose Depp. Her father, Johnny Depp, helped open the festival last week.
Last night we let the liquor talk.
It's 7-11 for Morgan Wallen. The country music star's single Last Night is #1 again on the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart for a 7th week, and now 11 weeks at #1 for his album, One Thing at a Time. That's the most consecutive weeks for an album at #1 since Titanic topped the chart for 16 weeks in 1998.
I'm gonna learn to rise.
And happy birthday to Jewel. The singer-songwriter is 49 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
We're approaching 3 minutes till 5 on your Tuesday morning.
A former sheriff's deputy and school resource officer accused of failing to confront a gunman during the 2018 Parkland, Florida school massacre is preparing for his trial. Up next, why legal analysts are saying this is a first-of-its-kind case.
And next, how leaders in Uvalde are preparing their town tonight ahead of the one-year mark of the school shooting tomorrow.
And a quick look at the roads with TransGuide looking over at Loop 410 at Marbuck Road. Things are moving right now. Also at 410 at Jackson Keller, and our Stephen Cavazos just walked in the studio. And we're going to be checking with him very soon.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
The city of Uvalde prepares to remember those lost in the school shooting 1 year ago tomorrow. Just ahead, what's being done for the families directly affected.
And let's look out there with live cam this Tuesday morning, starting at 70 degrees, a little humid, more humid than yesterday, and also expecting a little warmer weather this afternoon. But we're going to check in with Mike to see just how much warmer it will get.
Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, May 23rd.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you've had a good week so far. And at least we're in the 80s range. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and 70's not too bad out there. Again, a fairly comfortable morning. Decent trade-off compared to last year at this time, Mike Osterhage.
Oh, yes, indeed. Now, yesterday was kind of the anomaly, if you will. The normals are 88, 68 right now. We got down to 63 yesterday. It was that coolish morning and stayed at 85 in the afternoon. So we were on the cool side. So today we just get back up to where we should be. Although, yeah, we're a couple of notches above that right now at 70. Notice the bottom number, dew point, 67. That was in the low 60s and even 50s around the area yesterday. So we do have more humidity out there, and relative to that temperature, 90% humidity, not much of a breeze. We got some clear skies in places, and those are all the ingredients you get to get some fog. We got a couple of patches here and there. I'll show you that in a moment. Yeah, 88 for a high temperature, right where it should be this time of year. The aquifer, which has been going up and up and up each and every day, went up 0.2 of a foot yesterday. And with all that moisture out there, mold yesterday, 17,400, one of the highest readings we've had all season long with all that rain that we had on Sunday. Hopefully that goes down, just given the fact we didn't have any rain around yesterday. Here's what it looks like as far as fog. Now, it's not widespread, but in places it's fairly thick. Go down 37 in toward the coast. You got Beeville at a quarter-mile visibility, 2 at Gonzales, hints of it around New Braunfels, a little bit around Gonzales right now, down at Cotulla. So, again, that's something that will get thicker in places as the morning rolls on. We'll keep an eye on that, especially as we get in toward sunrise and just after that. Otherwise, mostly sunny. This is today and tomorrow, upper 80s. So 2 days very much alike. And both evenings then, we will have a few storms that are going to be moving in here from northwest, moving down through the area. We've got this northwesterly flow. You get these little disturbances sliding on through, and that can touch off a couple of those thunderstorm clusters in the overnight hours. Then the rest of the week's going to be pretty tranquil leading into the weekend. Partly cloudy skies, that should say upper 60s and 80s. So we're going to be normal this weekend, and going into Memorial Day, partly cloudy skies. Temperatures going to be held in check, and a stray shower can't be completely ruled out on Memorial Day. I wouldn't, if you have outdoor plans, firing up the grill, anything like that, I wouldn't really worry about it as of right now. Overall, a good-looking long holiday weekend, the unofficial start of summer this weekend. All the details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, what's going on the roads?
Hey, good morning, Mike. Well, really what we have to be on the lookout for this early is usually some overnight construction and a few folks out there. But you can see right behind me, thankfully for the most part, our commute is pretty quiet. Not seeing a lot of folks out there at 90, a couple, so take advantage of those quiet roadways. But some work taking place here at I-10 East at Loop 410. You can see some of the crews that remain on the scene. That will really be the story of the morning, at least this early. We're going to continue to watch roads closely, but right now it's smooth sailing for most of you that are heading out the door in the next few minutes. Just be on the lookout for some of those overnight construction crews. But let's talk about what we're seeing in terms of travel times. Still pretty green from Bernie along I-10 eastbound. You can expect about a 24-minute commute to the downtown area. 281 southbound, if you're traveling in from Bulverde, well, it should take you about 27 minutes. And for our friends that are traveling in along I-35 southbound from New Braunfels, a 26-minute drive time is what you can expect this early in the morning. But back here on TransGuide, we expect to see some quiet roadways last a little bit longer, but we'll watch them very closely. Again, 410 at Jackson Keller. East and westbound lanes look like they're in great shape for this Tuesday morning. We'll have an update on more road closures. There's a lot of it still lingering from overnight. We'll tell you where coming up a little bit later on in the newscast. Mark.
Thank you, sir. Natalie, breaking news. Firefighters are at the scene of a fire on the city's west side right now.
Juno Weber is live in the 700 block of South San Augustine near South General McMullen. Katrina.
Gave us a briefing telling us that this is a vacant house that on that fire. And let me give you a look at what's going on here right now. They're just wrapping up their hoses. This was a single-story house that they found fully engulfed, as they say, flames coming out of that house. They say San Antonio police actually were the first to notice this. They happened to be driving by and saw this house on fire, then called it in. So they're not sure exactly how long it had been burning. But one thing they do know is that no one was living here and there were no working utilities. So their assumption is that this had to do with possibly someone who didn't belong getting inside, people who they call squatters going inside. They said they had been told about some of that kind of activity in this area in the recent past. But again, firefighters had to treat this just as they would any other house fire, going in and trying to knock down these flames. But they do have arson investigators here to try to figure out exactly how this started. Again, no one living here, a vacant house that somehow went up in flames. Reporting live from the west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Katrina, thank you. The city of Uvalde asking for respect and privacy as we approach the one-year mark of the Robb Elementary School shooting tomorrow.
Starting tonight, several roads will be closed, in particular the ones around Robb, the downtown plaza, the Civic Center, and the murals of the 21 victims. City leaders say they are doing this to give the victims' family privacy as they have an event before a public candlelight vigil at 7:30 p.m. at the Uvalde Memorial Park Amphitheater. Mayor Don McLaughlin spoke about the importance of making sure the families of the victims have their own space to grieve.
We can't even imagine the pain that the families are feeling. 1 year, and we realize you still don't have the answers that you need, and it's frustrating to all of us. We will not.
Now, all year long, many of us here at KSAT 12 have put together a special presentation that looks back over the past year in Uvalde.
In this special project, KSAT spoke with families, survivors, policymakers, and the people of Uvalde about their loss and recovery.
I'm sitting in my bus and I just see these military people, or the board tag, because they were in camo. They have kids, they're carrying kids. And so they just dart to my bus, and I open the door. They look like they were very, very badly injured.
No, these kids need help. We need medical attention.
And parents are trying to get inside your bus.
They were banging, and I was like, oh my God. I told them I have to go lock the door.
We'll have live team coverage from Uvalde starting tomorrow morning on GMSA and leading up to our special 1 year in Uvalde. Katrina Weber, along with myself, will be in Uvalde.
And our special airs tomorrow at 9 p.m. here on KSAT 12. We are also streaming it on KSAT Plus and our YouTube page.
There is other news this morning now to the case of a former school police officer charged with failing to respond to the massacre at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida.
The former officer spoke yesterday, just days before his trial begins. And as ABC's Derek Dennis reports, legal analysts say this is a first of its kind case.
This morning, the former sheriff's deputy and school resource officer accused of standing back and failing to confront the gunman during the 2018 Parkland, Florida school massacre is preparing for his trial set to begin next week.
Mixed emotions. You know, it's tough. I wouldn't want any law enforcement officer in this country to experience this.
Scott Peterson faces multiple counts of child neglect for not entering the building where the attack was unfolding. 14 students and 3 staff members were killed. First order of business before the trial, jury selection, and a key decision by the judge whether to allow jurors to visit the school, which is still preserved as a crime scene. Peterson's lawyer wants jurors to hear what he describes as an echo outside the school, which he says factored into Peterson's decision to take cover during the shooting.
The only way to appreciate that is to physically be there.
Legal analysts say this is a first of its kind case, applying child neglect charges, viewing a school resource officer as a caregiver.
Have a difficult case here. It is not an open and shut case. There's a lot open for interpretation.
Derek Dennis, ABC News.
And here at home, it has been 20 years, and police insured still do not know who killed this man, 55-year-old Samuel Von Steele. He was shot and killed on May 22nd of 2003. His father says he thinks about his son daily and would like closure by finding the person responsible. If you know anything that can help, you are asked to call the Guadalupe County Crime Stoppers. You can remain anonymous.
Right now, 509, 70 degrees.
A San Antonio man killed by 3 dogs. Up next, how new legislation being sent to Governor Greg Abbott could soon allow animal care services to remove any dogs that are considered dangerous.
Plus, how TikTok is taking action to stop Montana's statewide ban of the popular app.
And let's look out there with a live cam. A little more humid this morning and maybe expecting a shower or two overnight in our viewing area, but we're going to check in with Mike for those details in a little bit.
It's been nearly 3 months since a San Antonio man was killed by 3 dogs.
And now new legislation aimed at handling dangerous dogs is heading to Governor Greg Abbott's desk. On February 24th, a group of dogs attacked and killed 81-year-old Ramon Najera, and his wife and 2 others were hurt in that incident. Najera's son, Raymond, says there is no closure for his family, but that new legislation is a step in the right direction. He just wishes it would have come sooner.
I think this is a win, not just for me, but I think it's a win for the community of San Antonio. Increased penalty, but, it doesn't bring anybody back.
House Bill 4759, also known as the Ramon Najera Act, would allow residents to file a complaint anonymously, but animal care services will still take their information in case the complaint goes to court and a witness has to be identified.
It would also allow ACS to remove a deemed dangerous dog without having to wait for an affidavit. The bill should make its way to the governor's desk soon and is believed to be signed in the next few weeks.
514, 70 degrees.
Coming up next, how deleted tweets and retweets are now being restored on Twitter.
And checking TransGuide, 35 at 410, looking great. Early on your Tuesday morning, much more to come on GMSA.
Ghirardelli Intense Dark. Bold. Rich. Intensely delicious dark chocolate. Ghirardelli Intense Dark. Makes life a bite better.
Allergies don't have to be scary. Defeat allergy headaches fast with new Flonase Headache and Allergy Relief.
2 pills relieve allergy headache pain.
And the congestion that causes it. Flonase Headache and Allergy Relief. All good.
With Allegra, allergies don't hold us back. Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. And unlike Zyrtec, it won't make us drowsy. Allegra gives you the fastest, non-drowsy 24-hour allergy relief so you can live your greatness.
In today's Tech Bites, TikTok strikes back. As expected, the Chinese-owned company is suing the state of Montana over its law banning the app, claiming the measure suppresses free speech. Montana officials say the law addresses security concerns over the app. It takes effect next year. Next, reports of a bug plaguing Twitter. Some users say their deleted tweets are reappearing on their timeline. It's unclear how widespread the issue is or what's causing the deleted tweets to resurface. Twitter has not commented on the reports. And WhatsApp is launching a feature that lets users fix messages they've already sent, but there's only a 15-minute window to do it. If you make a correction or add an emoji to a sent message, it will include the word edited next to the timestamp. Now, getting the message right the first time is satisfying, but editing feels so much more rewarding. Rewording. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
He had to explain it.
Yeah, I don't know. That one went over my
okay.
head this early. I think I need another cup of coffee.
Don't they say if you have to explain your joke, you've probably lost
the mark?
Yeah.
Was he explaining or just pronouncing?
Yeah, re-emphasizing.
Yes.
Have a good day, Andrew Dinwiddie.
That's kind of.
We'll give him a B+ for that one, I think,
it was
right?
okay.
I mean, but we're going to give traffic an A right now because things are looking great. We have overnight construction. Some of that's still lingering around. We're catching a little bit of on our TransGuide cameras, but let's take a quick look, see what else is happening in and around the Alamo City. If you plan on hitting the roads this early in the morning, thankfully it shouldn't be too bad of a commute for you. 410 at Babcock, check that out. Pretty quiet roadway, but getting a little bit busier there along the the east and westbound lanes. That's US 90 at Couples. A lot of folks waking up, but there's some of that overnight construction along I-10 east at Loop 410. And really, that is the story right now. No congestion. We're not seeing any crashes, so that's the good news. But you still have to watch out for the crews out there that are working to improve the roadways. Their job is pretty much 24/7. So let's talk about what's happening here along State Highway 46 in Kendall County. The signal and radar installation started overnight and actually should be wrapping up, so you may still see them out there. So watch out. Full closure of the northbound intersection. That's right there along I-10. So just keep that in mind if your commute takes you through that area. I would advise you to scan the QR code that we have on our screen now that takes you to our KSAT traffic page. Has a full list of all the closures that I just updated. So always good to know before you go. And Mike, I mentioned this a few times. We do have a new feature on there. Let us know what construction spots are you're trying to navigate around. A lot of people have a hard time doing it, so that's we want to hear from our viewers.
Okay. Yeah, because and just like we like getting those KSAT Connect pictures, your pictures tell the story for us. So thank you very much for all those pictures. I'm going to show you a great one in a second. First of all, talking about tonight, there is a small chance for a couple of strong, potentially severe storms. Now, this is not going to be a real big deal. Just kind of be on the lookout for it because, again, we've got this northwesterly flow in the atmosphere, and you get these little disturbances that are born up there in the far northwestern portion of the state and just sort of slide right down into our area, and that's what computer models are indicating. Now, throughout the rest of the afternoon into tonight, not much, but this particular model has a lot of those, especially, and this is where a lot of them are sort of focusing up there north of our viewing area, although a couple of them are going to try and pop up in our area. But notice how this, again, particular model doesn't really have a lot in our area in the overnight hours. So it is a very small chance to see some of this rain. The majority of it will be, like I said, further kind of to the north and to the northeast of our area. But there is that chance around here. We get more rain, probably going to be getting more of these. I got a bunch of them in my lawn too. All those toadstools hanging around here, mushrooms. Yeah, they're kind of neat looking. Make sure keep dogs and kids away from them, however. We do have a little bit of fog to deal with this morning. Gonzales at 2.5 miles visibility. About a quarter mile around Beeville, 3 at Victoria. Not a whole lot, but we're going to have more as the morning rolls on. We've got some clouds out there right now. It is warmer. It is more humid than what it was at this time yesterday. Temperatures are going to be, we're at 70 right now. We're going to stay pretty steady over the next few hours with those patches of fog. Otherwise, we'll see some sunshine as the morning rolls on. Another good looking day. And yesterday we had lower humidity in the morning. We got down to 63. So a little bit more humidity even throughout the afternoon and just a little bit warmer. We were at 85 yesterday, 88 today, but that's the normal high temperature, right where we should be, exactly what we'd expect. Here's a look at the satellite picture. You can see that northwesterly flow. Otherwise, then those couple little disturbances coming on in here, there's not really much going on around the entire country. And as far as the upper level wind pattern, we've got those two big lows up there to the north of us, and the high is kind of dominating things. That's going to be the situation throughout the next couple of days. And again, right coming around that high, that's that northwesterly flow right there. So it's just kind of a small chance for a few showers here and there or a couple of thunderstorms tonight. That's about the extent of it. 88 today, 88 tomorrow. Today and tomorrow almost going to be identical. Well, basically are going to be identical, even in the evening hours with that small chance for a couple of those thunderstorms to move into portions of the hill country. Thursday, Friday, temperatures down just a little bit. Saturday, Sunday, upper 80s, upper 60s for low temperatures, right where you would expect. Monday, long holiday weekend, a shower or two is possible. Not a big deal as of right now, and 85 for high temperature. Love those numbers all the way across there.
Yeah, we can handle the 80s.
Still normal or a little bit below that. Let's not scare it.
Okay.
Again,
we'll take it.
I love what Mark said last half hour. Don't look at the forecast in the eyes. Just leave it alone.
Look away.
Look away.
Yes. 523, 70 degrees.
Up next, Dua Lipa teases a new Barbie album song and why Arnold Schwarzenegger is now Netflix's new chief action officer.
Dua Lipa sees more success thanks to the new Barbie movie, plus an Office star gets a new series.
Here's CNN's Douglas Hyde with the Hollywood Minute.
Dua Lipa is stepping out with Dance the Night, her new song from the upcoming Barbie movie album. The singer just announced the track will be released on Friday. She'll also appear as a mermaid in the film, which premieres in July.
Happiness is out there, hiding in some of the places you'd least expect. What I want to know is, which places?
Rainn Wilson and the Geography of Bliss is a different kind of travel show. The Office star's new Peacock series journeys across the world to learn how different cultures find joy. Wilson says his globe-trotting adventures taught him that happiness ultimately comes down to one thing: being a part of a connected community.
From the monasteries of Thailand to the tribes of Central Africa to extended families in Bulgaria to Viking women doing a cold plunge in Iceland, it's all about connection. And that's where humans thrive and live their best lives.
No one loves action as much as I do. That's why I've accepted the big new job as Netflix's Chief Action Officer.
The explosions you asked for?
Bigger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's having fun in a new promo for Netflix's action lineup, which he's now a part of thanks to his new series Fubar. The show, out this week, marks the first time he's had a lead role in a scripted series.
I'm back, baby.
In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
The sword he cut the burrito with looked like his sword from Conan the Barbarian back in the 80s.
How funny.
Oh, that's funny stuff. 528, 70 degrees.
A big recall regarding a popular waffle maker. We're going to tell you why more than 450,000 are being recalled and how they can be fixed.
And are you ready to build this more than 2,000-piece Pac-Man Lego set? Just ahead, when it's coming out and how much it'll cost. Making headlines this morning, debt limit negotiations seem to be going in a better direction this morning.
We both agree that we need to change the trajectory, that our debt is too large.
I think we should be looking at tax loopholes and make sure the wealthy pay their fair share.
Up next, why some lawmakers want Speaker McCarthy to halt talks with President Biden and Democrats.
And let's look out there with live cam. Kind of calm out there, a little humid at 70 degrees, and things are expected to warm up today. We're going to be checking in with Mike to see how warm in just a minute.
Morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, the 23rd.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a good week so far. Your Mondays were good?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Mold got me.
Well, yeah, mold.
Mold got me on Monday. Oh, gosh.
When Justin and I were talking about this yesterday, it's, memory serves right, the highest we've had so far this season. It's like 17,000.
17,000, right?
So,
yeah.
Okay, I was glancing over to make sure my maps were queued up, and I saw this monitor over there.
Oh.
And I looked at Stephen, and his eyes were like saucers.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you that in a second.
Oh, yeah.
So, wow. That's a big mess. Anyway, we've got a little bit of fog to deal with around the area right now. It has started to thicken up somewhat there in Gonzales, down to 1 3/4 mile. Randolph was at 4 miles. Now it's up to 5. So just again, the hints of it here and there. New Braunfels, Stinson, a little bit. Even Port SA, some reduced visibility. Again, this is something that will get thicker as the morning rolls on, and then a lot of it down here along the coastal plain. Beeville is just a 1/4 mile visibility. Out there at the airport, everything's looking pretty good as of right now. We've got temperature stands at 70. Big difference compared to yesterday. We did eventually dip down to 63 degrees yesterday, 5 below normal. But with some of those clouds out there and that dew point holding at 67, we're not going to be getting down to 63 by any means. As a matter of fact, we're going to stay fairly steady this morning. No wind to speak of. And so when you have that relatively high humidity and all the other ingredients, that's why we are seeing some of that patchy fog around the area. A lot more sunshine today. Yesterday, we stayed at 85 up to 88. Again, normal high temperature. Humidity is going to be okay, pretty much what you'd expect this time of year. And then partly cloudy skies at 9 o'clock tonight, but then we'll see more clouds thickening up tonight. And there's a chance for a couple of showers and thunderstorms, primarily in the hill country. But most anything that might be strong to potentially severe is going to be further north of our area. Some computer models aren't very bullish on this, but there is that chance out there. And we're going to show you that. Going to have a repeat of this whole scenario tomorrow, and then we take a look at the long Memorial Day weekend. All those details coming up up in just a couple of minutes. Okay, Stephen, what are all the lights about?
Well, unfortunately, Mike, not a good situation here. State Highway 151. This is a shot where we were talking about really caught our attention there at the desk. You can see multiple first responders are out there on the scene. We have a pretty serious crash there. Notice that a paramedic is also on the scene along with a fire unit. It does look like right now traffic is pretty much at a standstill there. Also, from what we're picking up here on the TransGuide camera is that about the right shoulder is the only one that's getting by right now, but it looks like first responders may be getting ready to close that. Need to get on the phone with our friends over at TransGuide to get some more details, but right now I would say avoid this area because you're going to start to see that buildup that takes place too early in the morning for that. Unfortunately, a lot of congestion already taking place out there along State Highway 151. Again, this is in the eastbound lanes just past Loop 410. Let's hope everyone's doing okay out there because we did see that paramedic, but right now traffic is not looking good. We're going to keep a close eye on that throughout the morning, but wide look at the metropolitan area now really doesn't show a lot else out there. Does look like a little bit of congestion is building out here along I-10, 35 at 410, but really nothing too concerning. We know that there is still some of that active construction that is taking place right now. It doesn't really seem to be impacting any of the drive times. So especially if you're traveling in along I-37 northbound from Pleasanton, 28 minutes is what you can expect for that drive time. US 90 about 30 minutes if you're heading in from Castroville. If you're heading into San Antonio, I would say now's the time to do it because we know those roads tend to get a little bit more crowded. And right now that arrival from Lytle should take you about 16 minutes along 35 northbound. But the real concern is going to be here at State Highway 151 there at Loop 410 East. Now this is a shot from TransGuide. I would say avoid the area. The paramedic is just leaving the scene. We'll work to get some information confirmed and I'll have another update coming up in the next few minutes. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen. It was supposed to be a vacant house, but fire somehow found a way to move in. By the time firefighters put it out, that fire had caused a lot of damage to the house.
Katrina Weber is live where it happened in the 700 block of South San Augustine. That's not far from General McMullen and Castroville Road. And Katrina, have arson investigators been able to find out how it started?
Well, they are still in the process of looking for the exact cause, but firefighters tell me this appears to be the result of someone who didn't belong getting inside what was supposed to be an empty, vacant house. Take a look behind me. You can see what's left of that house. Firefighters just coming out now, bringing out their equipment, but they are keeping an eye to make sure that this doesn't flare up again. And we can also show you the video of how things looked when we got here. They already had made a quick knockdown of the flames that they found when they arrived. This fire broke out a little bit after 4 o'clock this morning, or that's when it was noticed anyway. San Antonio police happened to be in the area. They saw the fire and called it in, but firefighters actually don't know exactly how long it had been burning. They found flames coming out of this house. They, again, were able to knock it down rather quickly. They do believe that this was the result of possibly what they call squatters, people who don't belong, getting inside this house, possibly trying to cook or something like that, and then starting a fire. But again, we do have arson investigators here to try to narrow down exactly what caused this fire. Reporting live on the west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. Taking a live look at the White House this morning, leaders in Washington, including the president, are scrambling to find a solution to prevent a potential national default. Also today, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell is scheduled to speak before the new Democrat coalition's luncheon.
This, as a default, could be less than 2 weeks away. And as CNN's John Lawrence reports, some say the White House could face a, quote, huge backlash if President Biden does not come to a good agreement with Speaker McCarthy.
Both agreed.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has said debt limit negotiations with President Joe Biden have been, quote, productive.
We both agree that we need to change the trajectory, that our debt is too large, and I think at the end of the day we could find common ground.
But they still haven't solved the debt limit dilemma.
We need to cut spending, but here's a disagreement. I think we should be looking at tax loopholes and making sure the wealthy pay their fair share.
Leading House conservatives want McCarthy to push the Senate to pass the Limit, Save, Grow bill that got through the House in April and to halt talks with Biden and the Democrats.
They haven't passed anything and they're demanding. Nobody comes to the negotiation without having passed something, they haven't brought anything, yet they're making demands.
The GOP is also rejecting the White House's offer to freeze domestic spending at their current levels.
Can anyone point to me a single area where extreme MAGA Republicans have moved off of their position?
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen issued another warning to Congress Monday, saying that it's, quote, highly likely the nation could go broke by June 1st. According to Moody's Analytics, roughly 1 million jobs in the U.S. could be lost if a default lasts a week. More than 7 million jobs may vanish if it continues for 6 weeks. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And there are new calls to change the way food is labeled to avoid confusion. Food safety advocates, along with a New Jersey congressman, are pushing for a change to the expiration date system. Now, currently, there are no federal standards for sell by, use by, or best by dates. Congressman John Gothenmeyer says most dates label indicate when the manufacturer believes the product is fresh, which is not necessarily based on scientific food safety considerations. Advocates say more realistic date labeling would cut down on food waste.
Irish-born actor Ray Stevenson has died. The Publicist said Stevenson died Sunday. Stevenson began his career in British television and then landed some action roles in Hollywood starting back in the 2000s. He's best remembered for his work in Rome, Thor, and the movie RRR, which was the second highest grossing film in India last year. Stevenson's set to appear in the upcoming Star Wars series Ahsoka. He was only 58 years old. Right now, 540, 70 degrees.
And if you're having waffles for breakfast, listen up. More than 450,000 waffle makers are being recalled. Up next, we'll tell you why and which brand is affected.
Pac-Man is back in Lego form. Up next, why it might... what's the word?
Maybe. Oh, gobble up.
Gobble.
Like the yellow Pac-Man.
Up.
There you go.
A lot of your time to build and how much it will cost. My brain couldn't figure that out this morning.
Well, because we're so used to seeing Google, actually. So, yeah, it's the actual Pac-Man gobbling it all up. Temperature is not gobbled up here. We're at humid 70 degrees for now. We'll be right back. And welcome back. It's 5:43 in your morning consumer headlines. If you have a waffle maker, listen up. Nearly 500,000 waffle makers from Empower Brands have been recalled due to a burn hazard. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says hot pieces of waffle can shoot out from the waffle maker during use. Now, the affected products are the Power XL stuffed waffleizer models, ESWM02 and ESWM03. You can find the model numbers and dates on the tag attached to the power cord. They were sold from July of 2021 through October of 2022. This is at Walmart, Kohl's, Big Lots, Best Buy, Home Depot, Target, Sam's Club, and other online stores, including QVC. The company is offering a free latch adapter and instructions for the repair.
A third wave of expected layoffs underway at Disney, with employees being notified by the cuts this week. A source says more than 2,500 workers are expected to lose their jobs across the latest wave of layoffs. It's anticipated to be the last significant round of cuts previously announced by Disney CEO Bob Iger. The first two waves of layoffs took place in March and April, eliminating roughly 4,000 jobs. Staff reductions took place at ESPN, Disney's entertainment division, Disney Parks, and its experiences and product division. Iger announced that in February that Disney would axe roughly 7,000 employees from its global workforce in 3 ways before the start of summer.
Lego is going back to the 80s with its newest set that recreates the vintage Pac-Man arcade game. The set celebrates the 43rd anniversary of Pac-Man with, get this, 2,650 pieces, including 3 iconic figures. It also allows fans to recreate some of the legendary ghost-munching moves played in the game. So how much will it cost you? Well, actually $269.99, which is a bargain compared to the Batman one, right? Find out where you can pick up one right now on our website at KSAT.com. And gosh, I loved Pac-Man. That was like one of my favorite games to play.
It was great.
Yeah.
And now I'll have the video game sounds in my head the rest of the day. 546, 70 degrees.
Let's look out there with TransGuide still looking over at I-10 at Proband, and it's still a mess over there at Highway 151 and Loop 410. We're going to check back with Stephen Cavazos very soon.
An unimaginable tragedy. The lives of 19 students and 2 teachers lost.
Look at us. Our lives have been turned upside down.
After 12 months, actions to prevent school shootings in Texas have stalled.
For our kids, not enough for you to make some kind of change.
And the once strong community of Uvalde is beginning to fracture.
Wednesday at 9, the search for answers in a community struggling to heal.
1 year in, Uvalde. Wednesday at 9 p.m. on KSAT 12.
All right, back with a traffic update here at 5:49. Let's get a look there at State Highway 151 at Loop 410. This has been a problem spot for a little while now. We notice that traffic's moving now at just down to one lane, but first responders looks like they moved that vehicle off of the middle of the roadway. Spoke to our friends at TransGuide earlier, so that's what we're seeing right now. Those first responders have actually already, you can see, blocked off that left lane of traffic. No word yet on the extent of any injuries. We hope everyone's doing okay, but remember, we saw a paramedic out there a little bit earlier, so just let's hope everyone's doing okay, but traffic's just not looking good at this hour, guys. State Highway 151 eastbound at Loop 410 is where we have that big backup taking place out there. Doesn't really look like it's improving, and it's probably going to get a little bit worse only because we're entering closer into the 6 a.m. hour, which means a lot more folks out on the roadway. If you're just waking up, I would say avoid this area if you can. Hopefully we'll see a better update soon. A quick drive over here to I-35 there, I-10 eastbound, I should say, at 35. We have a stalled vehicle, not really causing any issues, but a few more issues are popping up. Take a look over here along US 281 northbound at Loop 410. We have road debris that's also been reported. Our morning started off pretty quiet, but now as we're getting closer to 6 a.m., we're starting to see a little bit more of the problems occur on the roadways, but we're going to keep tracking them very closely. But of course, this is the main one right now at State Highway 151. Remember, this is the eastbound lanes. One lane of traffic is getting by, so that's the good news. But let's hope our first responders can wrap up pretty soon, because we know the commute's just going to get a little bit busier as the minutes go by.
Okay, thank you, Stephen.
Yes, thank you. And I guess maybe a chance of rain in some areas overnight, but not necessarily.
No, most of it's going to be in the hill country. We've got, as we were talking about yesterday, even with this northwesterly flow, and it's one of those where you just get little disturbances kind of sliding on in here. But a lot of computer models are not really bullish on it as of right now, but still that chance. Going to talk more about that in a moment. All right, if you have clear enough skies and nice picture like this, you can see the waxing crescent moon and kind of pointing right over there at Venus. Venus moon hanging out tonight, having a howling good time. I thought werewolves only came out with a full moon.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe
this
is a new breed.
A new breed of werewolf. Okay.
How am I the werewolf expert?
All those in favor? Okay, we voted him in. Yeah. Thank you, Oscar, for the KSAT Connect picture. Gonzales at 1.5 miles visibility. Beeville, quarter mile, or 2.5 miles, pardon me, they're at Victoria. So again, we're watching the fog, hints of fog around the area. Nothing here in town right now, but got that fuzz around the street lights there, and everything's moving along very well. 410 over there by the airport. Temperature right now is at 70, and we're going to stay pretty steady the next couple of hours. And we're up compared to yesterday, good 7 degrees right now, but only 2 degrees above normal. So yesterday was kind of the anomaly. We've got some clouds around this morning, but then we'll see more sunshine later on. Today, already up to 83 at noon. And yesterday we hit 85. High temperature stayed kind of pleasant yesterday, actually, but up to 88 today. That is the normal high temperature. Humidity is going to be there, not really all that oppressive. So, just what you would expect this time of year. And going into tonight, what we were talking about with some of these showers and thunderstorms. Now, this model has the majority of them, and this is the one that's a little more bullish on some of this rain. The majority well up there to the north, but then a little cluster moving through parts of the hill country, kind of coming down I-10 in the overnight hours and early tomorrow morning, which is what happens with these storms a lot of times, that they do hold together up until about right around sunrise, and then they tend to die down right after that. So that is the possibility. But again, that's the only computer model that is really bullish on a lot of these storms. So we've got the same situation tomorrow. Identical. We'll start off the same high temperature, chance for a couple of those thunderstorms in the overnight or late night and overnight hours. Then Thursday, Friday, and through the weekend, very tranquil around here. Temperatures are held in check right where you would expect, or even down a couple of degrees. And Monday, Memorial Day, good looking day. 1 or 2 showers are possible as of right now. Firing up the grill, going out, maybe parade, something like that. Wouldn't worry about it right now.
All right, that looks good. We'll
good
take
looking
it.
weekend, yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
Right now, 5:54, 70 degrees at San Antonio International Airport.
Let's get your winning lotto numbers. Pick 3, 710, Fireball 0. Daily 4, 6216, Fireball 5.
Cash 5, 7, 21, 26, 28, 29. Texas two-step 12, 19, 33, 35 with a bonus ball of 21. And we have your Powerball numbers: 9, 38, 48, 52, 68. Powerball 25, Power Play 4. Good luck from everybody at GMSA.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, we'll start with the latest on that security scare just steps from the White House. A truck slamming into a barrier. Now the driver's detained, and we'll tell you the latest at this hour. Also, the negotiation going late into the night to deal on a deal to avoid catastrophic default. Where the talks stand as the clock ticks down. And the new warning this morning from the Surgeon General on teens and social media. Parents, you don't want to miss this one right here on GMA.
We have flashing lights on one TransSky camera this morning. Let's take a live look right now. 151 at Loop 410. This is the eastbound lane. Slow going, everybody having to merge to the right. Steve will have an update coming up.